Welcome to the Insurance Marketing Brain Dump podcast. I just made that up. My name is Keagan with BriteBee.com, where we help insurance agents get found online. And I also have Chris Paradiso with Paradiso Insurance and Paradiso Presents.
Good morning, Brain Dump.
Thank you. I like that name because the whole idea behind this is to be able to just brainstorm. I don't want this to be about all the experts and everything else. I just want it to be about brainstorming and helping insurance agents start taking action.
Love it.
So, we are here at the Germania workshop, Paradiso Presents Germania workshop, and we're in Dallas, and it's been a really good time.
How can it not be? We're in Texas, one of the great states.
Yes, and everything is bigger in Texas.
Everything.
So,
including the 215-inch screen last night that we watched football on.
That was quite amazing. So it's been really good. And one thing I want to go over is some things that we've talked about through the sessions and answer some questions. And I think other people would be delighted to hear what we've been talking about.
Great. Let's talk about day one, which was yesterday.
Yeah. So day one, one of the questions here, this is the one that I want to go over, brain dump. How to show we are on their side. So insurance agent was saying, I really just want to show people that I'm on their side. And so we said, well, we don't want to be nationwide.
Nationwide is on your side.
That's right. So we don't want to be nationwide. So how do we show that? And I would love to know your thoughts.
Well, I think the first thing we really need to identify is being on your side is what? And we have to define that, right? So one of the key concepts that I had brought up is coming into this industry. My father says if you're going to be different as an insurance agent, you need to be there at the time of a claim. That is by far the most important thing we can do as an insurance agent. And I really look back at that before I even started in my insurance career. And he said when I did start, he just was very focused on saying, hey, when somebody has a claim, that's why they buy insurance. That's when you need to be there. And I really think being on someone's side, there's multiple ways that you can be on your client's side, right? Mm-hmm. But what is the most memorable? And I really think at the time of need, which is at the time of a claim, is where you can show the greatest amount of value on why they should do business with you and your agency. And clearly you can show how they are how you as an agent and an agency are on their side.
And I think one of the things that we talked about was setting the expectation from the very beginning. And
absolutely,
from what I can see and we've experienced, I think a lot of insurance agents are not setting that expectation from the very beginning when they sell the policy, or not even when they sell the policy, before that.
Well, when you think about it, right, we can all say we're on your side, right, until you have a claim and then you experience how you may be on their side. But you still have to earn that trust up front and in the beginning, right? So setting that expectation and talking to a client or a prospect and saying, hey, I just want to let you know, Bill, when you do business with our agency, this is, hopefully it never happens, but if you have a claim, this is what's going to happen. This is how we work with you and for you. And this is what separates us from our competition.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so let's brainstorm just really quick on some ways that we can help people understand how we are on their side. And the first one I think about is email marketing. I think it's an extremely powerful way to start creating some automation and to help people understand who we are and what we're going to do for them in the future and what to expect in the future.
Yeah, especially when you're talking about prospecting, right? When you're prospecting and creating that sense of understanding for the prospect to realize that you are on their side and giving them examples, I think that's key, because after you earn the trust and you onboard through emails, it's a lot easier to show them who you are because you've already earned their trust. But email marketing is a great way to set prospects up so that you can set yourself as being different.
And then I think after the onboarding process, then you're looking at one that I think about is, the reviews and testimonials, right? So reaching out to them and asking them for that review, asking them to give you, out of one out of 10, how would you rate? Would you refer us? And I think that can be extremely powerful and keep you in the minds of your customers.
I think that's why it gives you the greatest amount of learning ability. You can learn more about your clients, but even more, you can learn more about your agency and how it's running with something like Rock Referrals and being able to get those testimonials. Because first and foremost, they are going to give you honest feedback. Once you get that feedback, what you do with that is what's key. Just because you get the feedback and somebody gives you a 9 and you just settle and you don't call that client or customer and you don't say, hey, thank you for filling out that survey, but most importantly, how can we at Paradiso Insurance earn a 10 from you? There is invaluable information when they give you feedback. That feedback, if we just shut up and listen to that feedback, we can learn so much on how we can improve our agencies.
So not only can we do email marketing, but we need to start following the data. And when we provide relevant content because of the data that we see, and so we provide relevant content to our customers, they start seeing more so of who we are because they're engaging more.
Absolutely. And isn't engagement key?
Yes.
I mean, why do we do what we do? It's engagement.
Right.
If we're not engaging well, we're not communicating well, we will not have a business.
Right. And it's not about the next newsletter. It's, people say, well, I send a newsletter out every single month. They should know. No, it's not about they should know. Do they know? And are we following the data to make sure they do know?
But I also would take a step back and say, you send that newsletter out, look yourself in the mirror. Are you tracking it? What's the open ratio on it? A lot of conversations I had yesterday with people, they said, geez, that's a great question. I'm not monitoring that. But you can send anything you want. If they don't open that email, they never received it, what good is the email?
Right.
So we have to always look to improve. If we're not tracking and understanding those emails, who's opening them, how many times they're opening, if nobody's opening, they're not being effective. We have to change.
So we think about email campaigning, but I think we also can think about the social media presence we can have and the brand presence we can have, which will then help them understand our vision and our brand better.
Totally agree. Absolutely.
And so, one of the things I recommend is we should be following every single client we have or asking them to like our page so that we can hit them in multiple different areas and be omnipresent in their life.
I don't think people would argue that point. Maybe some would argue saying, hey, I think that's a little intrusive in some senses, but I would question that because I would say we should be, in my personal opinion, but I have had some agents say, hey, I think it's a little intrusive, but we go after people. I think the key factor is having a strategy once a customer becomes a client. Once a prospect becomes a client, what are we doing? What's the strategy to get that client to not only like our page, to connect with us on Facebook and or the sales agent? The strategy needs to be laid out, and we have to execute it. Yeah. We have to do it. It's not about should we be doing it. We have to do it.
All right. Well, that's a brain dump. We'll see you next time.